Okay, guys, we are back. It seemed like a good idea at the time while I was at work, thinking about, oh, hey, I have to write the Awakenings update tonight. Maybe I'll live stream that. That sounds like fun. So I spent the afternoon fiddling around with a new theme for live streaming fantasy writing, and this is it. Hope you like the look. Now we are going to go ahead and get ready to start writing the Awakenings update for this week. Be lots of fun. So I've already got everything loaded up and pretty much ready to go. It's going to be kind of fun, kind of exciting. I'm actually really excited to be able to share this with you. I did start writing a little bit while I was waiting for some stuff to render and all that kind of good stuff. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and pick up where we left off with the last scene, which has Phelan and Erin kind of hanging out by the ravine behind the ruins of some dorms. And this is actually my fiction serial that you can find at awakenings.embklitzke.com. Aaron's kind of been fighting this breakdown for the past chapter and a half, probably. It's probably a good way to to describe it there. It's been a while. I don't know if you can hear it, but it sounds like there's an ice cream truck headed down the street in my apartment complex. That's special. Oh, not only is it heading down the street in the complex, it's actually coming into the parking lot. That's even better. All right, sorry about that, everyone. We are back. The truck actually looks like it was turning around and happened to stop directly in front of my apartment, so it was really loud. So I muted the mic for a few minutes and stepped away to close the door. But we're back now. For those of you who have never read Awakenings, um, Marin has a very deep connection to a particular past life where Phelan O'Credney was a really close friend of hers, and her brother Matt has a similar connection to that individual's brother from a long, from a long time ago, who may or may not have been of questionable sanity after some things with a capital T happened to him. Hi, Emma. How are you? Well, I'm glad you think so. It would be great if stuff would stop lagging a little bit on me here, but oh well, first problems, right? Phelan held his peace for so long I feared that he wasn't going to say anything at all. Then, softly, gently, "What do you remember about her?" A weak, broken sound escaped me. Barely anything, but enough to know that she's dangerous and she's not going to stop unless she's somehow forced to. My eyes stung and I shook my head, hands curling into fists. "I don't think I can stop her, Phelan. I don't know that any of us can." His arms closed around me and I leaned into his chest, the lump in my throat threatening to choke me as I buried my face against his shoulder. He held me tightly and I could feel the dam break, felt the tears coming. He held me as I wept silently into his shoulder, rubbed my back gently, and rested his cheek against my hair. "You were never alone," he murmured softly. "Not then, and certainly not now. You have us to help you, and I dare say your brother's a lot more sane than Care was back then." I choked in a laugh and hugged him tighter. "Damn it, Phelan." I felt him smile. "Well, it's true." I drew back, mopping at my eyes. The dread had ebbed slightly, but it was far from gone. "How am I going to pull this off, Phelan? I don't even remember how I stopped her the last time. Not really." "You told her she was unwelcome," Phelan murmured. "With the tip of a spear." A derisive sound escaped me, and I shook my head, jaw tightening. I stepped away from him, reclaimed my coffee cup from the old concrete bench that stood nearby. "Something tells me that's not going to work this time, Phelan." "You might be surprised," he muttered, watching me as I gulped down coffee and mopped at my eyes. Besides, you don't even know. Besides, you don't even know for sure it's her coming. There could be no one. Just a storm." My gaze flicked toward clouds. "You might be surprised," he muttered, watching me as I gulped down coffee and mopped at my eyes. "Besides, you don't even know for sure it's her coming. It could be no one. Just a storm." My gaze flicked toward the clouds above, twisting back on each other, dark like foul smoke in the sky. "This isn't just a storm," I told him softly. "We're fooling ourselves." "Then we'd best be mustering the troops instead of standing around out here, shouldn't we?" He was right. I knew he was right, and he knew that I knew. He knew he was right. I knew he was right, and he knew that I knew. But for some reason, I couldn't bring myself to go back to face them. Not yet. There's more eating you, isn't there? I swallowed hard and nodded, tearing my gaze from the sky, staring instead at the trees in the ravine, starting to grow shadowed as the clouds overtook the sun. What is it? My mouth grew dry, my throat tightening again. I can't. I can't say those words. How can I tell him that I'm afraid that the vision I thought was dead was starting to come true? And I think that's where I'm going to end the update for tomorrow and leave everyone with a little bit of a cliffhanger for the Monday morning update. Thank you to everyone who joined me for today's live stream. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon and subscribe if you liked what you saw. I'll post a video of this in a little while. But thanks again for coming, and everyone have an awesome afternoon into evening, depending on where you are in the geography.